So where I come from, it's a totally different local authority. So I'm a part of a joint consultative committee. And what happens is they ask people, members of the community, in terms of activists and community interest companies, what do you think they can do better in terms of, since lockdown they've had this leveling up, especially from people from the global majority. So what I try to do is give them, obviously my personal experiences, but the stakeholders that I represent, about the ills and gripes they have about terms of services around housing, social housing disrepair, community spaces, domestic abuse, sustainable employment, even entrepreneurial enterprises, how they can connect to funding or maybe advice and help. So what they've done is said, how can we then make sure that this kind of information is disseminated throughout the community, so it's not in a specific area where only people that are currently working can access. They said people that are disparate from the privilege can get through to it as well, because a lot of people I've discovered in my journey is that they go to the job center when they're at work, and they'll go in a job role, not realizing that most jobs are not advertised. So they will connect to local authority for workshops and obviously training to make sure that people can access it. So while doing that, I was invited by Daniel to do That's the Ways, remember? So through that I connected with my tribe, people with similar values, other organizations. So where I was inexperienced around funding opportunities and doing research through vehicles outside of what I learned at college and university, we advanced on to Savon. At first we used to go back and forth about what is needed best for people that are underprivileged. And she said, oh, why do this challenge? I said, well, why are you doing it? I said, why don't you come around and actually participate? So she said, oh, come along in April. You had a table, a nice table, you had all these animals on the wall. I said, what's that all about? I said, animals, how does that connect with research? And she said, I did the safari and with the thought showers. We had to get around the table and they said, oh, they'd ask you questions. So I would convey my experience, other people would convey theirs. And she said, look, this is how community works, because if you don't have the experience in a group, they just say it's anecdotal. So I said, we're trying to compile that all together to make sure that it's fairly representative of all people, not just certain amount of people that say, I was on a joint consulting committee, so that gave me a certain privilege where other people that I don't have that within their life do. So by doing that, obviously the due diligence, I was able to learn more about that. And it's impacted me in terms of how I approach research now and how I connect with members of the community. And they've offered me to come in as a co-researcher to do more of the investigations, which I hadn't done anything like that since I left university like 15, 16 years ago. So it's kind of giving me a more precise focus, and as I said, connected with other people that have and other organizations that have similar values, so I don't feel isolated when I'm being rebellious.
That's great. Over to you, Daniel.